Hello everyone, welcome to the day 30 of learning data science. And what will we going today? We will be discussing about exceptional handling. And yesterday we have discussed more of about file handling. We will discuss one, two programs related to it, right? And then we will jump into exceptional handling and we will complete those. Okay. And tomorrow what we will do, tomorrow we will just discuss about some regular expressions. And yes, after then we will jump into iterators and generators. Then we will jump into the data frames. So only I need 2 days time, and in couple of days, like the Python basically for data science will be completed. Python is very vast. Means like if you wanna learn Python, it's very vast. And yes, if I will make a video, means like only on Python, so like it will take time. So what I am doing it, I am here just making you guys aware that what's the necessary part in data science. What are the necessary parts? Again, that depends upon your research and your all these things. Because whenever you are solving the questions, why I tell you guys to practice 500 to 1000 lines of code. Why? Because whenever you are practicing those questions, ultimately 500 to 1000 lines of code you are practicing daily. So let's assume you are practicing 500 lines of code. So what will happen? At least you are covering uh, 40 to 45 questions in that. At least 50 questions you are solving every day, or just assume 100 questions you are solving every day. Let's take a count. You are taking 7 to 8 lines, and 7 to 8 lines. So ultimately it will be somewhere around 60 to 70. Okay. So 60 to 70 uh, programs you are solving every day. So what will happen? You will cover most of the things. For that only because self-help is a great help. Means like in this 30 minutes of session, I can't teach you everything, right? I can't guide you with everything. No, I can guide you with the most important topics. I can clear you the concepts, but again, you have to solve the 500 questions. You have to do the self-study. Self-study means self-help. Self-help is a great help, right? So for that reasons, so let's jump into the topic. And yes, first of all, as what I do, just I will open the mind map. And again, how to open the mind map is the same way. You can just go into your Google Chrome or any browser of your choice which you are using it. Right here, Python mind map. And on the very first result you will see here like this. So we have covered introduction in Python: variables, data types, types of operator, conditional statements, loop functions, exceptional handling. We have file handling we have done. Exceptional handling is left to be done. And again, regular expressions is there, and oops concept is there. This data analytics using Python database, using Python, we will cover when we will complete the SQL part of it. Once we have completed the SQL, then we will complete these all things. Why? Because again, if I will start with these things, some things will go above your head and you might not understand it much clear way. So just keep these things in a step by step. Once you learn the database, then we can learn how to connect that particular database using Python, because by that time you already know the Python, right? And you also know the database. So only thing what you have to do, you have to put a string into it and you have to attach these two things. But what will happen? You know these things, you are putting a string to attach these things, but you don't know this certain thing. So it will not work. You can't tie a string there without knowing this thing. What type of uh, features this particular thing have, right? So for that reason, now how you can open the mind map? Just go here and just double click in any of those. So yesterday we have discussed R. So what's the purpose of R? I want you to comment on the comment sections. So basically R, what it does, R basically helps to read the file. What W does to write the file whenever you have to write the file. Yes, and W also does one thing, it overrides the thing and it updates the file with latest text which we have written into it. Okay. So for example, previously you have written modes in file handling in your file, and later that you are writing regular expressions in your particular file. So what will happen? Regular expression will be there and modes will be disappeared. And this we have seen in yesterday's session. And yes, if you haven't seen it, so just go and watch my day 29 video. I have the subtitles there. Pardon with my subtitles. The video description is there as file handling. Just go there and you can watch that video and you will understand what basically W does and what basically A does. Okay, so A basically it also helps in adding the text into the file, but yes, it will not overwrite the file. Okay, and R plus basically what it does, R plus basically it helps to read and write as well. And also we have discussed about one thing, X was there, and X helps us to create a new file. Okay, so these all things we discussed yesterday, and I will open my Spider now. Okay, and I will just open a new file here. New file, I will open it. And what I will do, I will just try to see which directory I am in. Okay, so for that reason I have to import OS. So my current directory is D. So what I will do, I will assign a variable here, f is equal to open. And yesterday we were discussing about Avinash, open Avinash file dot txt. And what we are going to do, we are going to read it. Okay, we are going to read this particular file. And what I will do, I will do print f dot read line. Okay, and on the very next part, what I will do, I will just close the file. If I won't close it, it will not execute it. Okay, because file will remain open in the console. Okay, so basically it's reading the file, and for read and write, what we have to do, we have to use here W as well. And now let's execute it. Unsupported, not readable. Okay, so I have to locate that file location for me. So what I will do, I will just open here. Okay, I will go here, new volume D drive, and basically I will try to locate this particular file. Where was that? Avinash file. Okay, so what I will do, I will just copy the path. And if you have problem into opening such things, so what you will do, you will just replace the path here, and it will automatically do such thing. One thing you have to correct it, either you can write here R, or you can use double slash, or you can use the opposite slash. It will do the same thing. Okay, unsupported operation, not readable. Okay, so basically in this course, why it is giving that, let me open that file once. Okay, so nothing is there in this file. For that reason, it's being not open. So what I will do, I will just open my sample1 txt. Okay, I will copy as path and I will just paste it here. Okay, so basically it's a JSON file. So for that reason, again, I have to import JSON there. Then it will read that file. Okay, and you might get confused. So let's skip the JSON part. Let's take a simple sample one in which, let me take, okay, let's check what it is. Yeah, I've got it. This was the sample file. I will do copy as path and I will try pasting it. So what I've told you guys that either you can use the reverse slash or use R there or use the double slash. Okay. So if I will execute it, you can see this. This all things got printed. And after that, let me close the file. Okay. Now again, let's execute this. Now print this. So you can see here, this was my first line there. For that reason, it got printed. I didn't got printed the whole line. And this was the difference which I was talking about yesterday, was that if we will use read line, then what it will do, it will just print each line line by line, and when you will use the read function there, it will print all the lines right there, right? Everything which is written inside that file, it will print it. Now what we will do, if you want to delete a certain file, okay, if you want to delete a file, so the simple execution, the simple thing for deleting a file is that what you have to do, I've already imported here OS, and you have to just write here, for example, you have to delete this file. So what you will do, you will write os dot remove. You will do os dot remove, and what you have to remove, you have to remove this file. Okay, so if I will execute this line of code, sorry, my bad here, os was there. So if I will remove this file, because the file is being used by another process. Okay, so basically that thing is being opened here. So basically I have to close the file there. Okay, I have to close the file first. The file is being closed, and now let's execute it. So we have successfully removed this file. So if I will try opening this file, so it might give a error because there is no such file, because we have successfully deleted that. So I hope you have understood here what, how we can remove the file, okay, how we can delete the file. Okay, now the next step, the next part is exceptional handling. Okay, okay, now we are moving ahead with exceptional handling. Okay, so first, what do you understand by this word exceptional? Exception. Okay, again, I am not asking in the term of Python. By this simple English language, what do you understand by such? What is exception? Okay, so exception is the certain thing, means like whenever we are getting an error, okay, whenever we are getting an error, So exception will try handling those type of errors. Okay. For example, here you are getting file not found error. Okay. You are getting such. And what error does to a program, error will not execute the lines of code which is below that. For example, you have got a error here, right? So what will happen? The file will not, your Python code will not execute further with line number 3, 4, 5, 6. It will not execute. And your program will abruptly close in between and it will be terminated in between. So if you want that your program shouldn't be terminated abruptly in between, so for that reason we use exception handling, so that whatever exception we get, we have to make sure that our whole program should run and it shouldn't inter it shouldn't go off abruptly in between. It shouldn't get terminated in between. Okay, so for that reason, we are using exceptional handling. So what will be the definition of this exceptional handling will be is whenever uh, we want our program or code to execute successfully without being terminated abruptly in between. Okay, so for that reason, we use exceptional handling. Okay, so I hope you guys are getting it. Okay, so like these things we can use here. Exceptional handling whenever we want our program or code to execute successfully without being terminated abruptly in between. Okay, so for that reason we use exceptional handling. And basically in exceptional handling there are three parts. What are those three parts in exceptional handling is, first it comes try, then what it comes except, and the another control Z, then what it comes after except it's finally. Okay, so basically these are the three blocks of code which we have to write here whenever we are using exceptional handling. Okay, so now let's try understanding it, what basically try function is there. Okay, so try function is that whenever if there is any error in this code, if my code if my code doesn't have any error, then this block of code will execute. Okay, if my code doesn't have any error, so this block of code will execute. So whatever thing will you will be writing here, that will be getting executed if it doesn't have an error, until and unless, for example, in try block you have written this thing. Okay, have open these things, but you can see a error here. Error means permission error, or you can see that there is file not found error, right? There is such error. To to handle those error, what you will do, you will use a except block there. And except block, what it will do, it will handle the error. If there is any error, any error, then it will be executed. And with except, you have to write the error name. Okay, you have to write the error name as well. Unless and until you are not writing the error name, it will not work. So you have to write here except file not found error, and after that just try displaying what type of message will be there, right? And what is this finally block? Okay, this finally block, what it does, it helps the program, it helps the code or program to execute successfully, and it will be executed every time. It will be executed every time. It doesn't, it's not necessary. It's not necessary that try block have to execute, try block have to execute, or except block have to execute. No, you don't have to do these things. Means like whenever you are writing finally block, so what will happen? Everything which you will be written under finally block, that will be executed, and it doesn't matter whether you are writing something in try block, whether some exception occur or not. No, it will not happen. Those uh, finally block will be not affected with those. It will be executed. Okay. So now let's try one thing. What we will do, we will just use this set of line in my try block. Okay. I will use this set of line in my try block, and I will show you live. Okay. So basically I have to use here 3 so that it will not getting here. So I will be writing here try, and within try, what I will do, I will write this. Okay. And in except, what I will do, except, in except block, in except again, I have to write the error name. Okay. So what's the error name? File not found. Okay. So I will write here file not found error, and within that I have to tell user that enter the correct file location. Enter the correct file or location. Okay. So now let's try executing it. Okay. Now let's try executing this. And as soon as we will execute this line of code, you will see here enter the correct file and location. It comes into it. How it came? Previously, when we are doing these things, for example, if I will simply try to find these things, you will get that file not found error. But here, what we are doing, my error will be handled. It will be handled successfully. Okay. You can see here what happened. I didn't got the error. Instead of that error, I got the location. Okay. Means I got the message that, okay, I got a message for the user key, or you have to just fill the correct location, or you have to check the file, whatever thing will be writing here, that will be displayed on this screen, and your program will not be hampered and you will not get error. But the worst, what the most important thing you have to keep it in mind, the most important thing you have to keep it in mind is you have to write here the correct error name. Until and unless you will not write the error name, what will happen? You will not get the things. Okay. You will not, for example, instead of file not found error, I will write here zero division error. Okay. Zero division error. I write this. I written this. So what will happen if I'll execute this? So you can see file not found error, it will be there. Why? Because you haven't correctly written the error name. So the most important thing within except block is you have to write the error name correctly. Okay. And if I will execute a finally block here, and in finally block, what I will do, I will try print the location of the error is just say spider. Okay, I'm just simply writing these things so that you guys can be aware कि okay what basically the finally block does and what's the basic behind the finally block. Okay, so if I will now try executing all these three lines of code, so what will happen, you can see here the file finally block will execute regardless it's having the error or not. Okay, so for example we were trying with sample1 txt. Sample txt, it's in my D drive location. So this time it will not give the error and it will not move into the except block. So let's try whether finally operate or not. Okay. So if I will try executing this line of code, then you can see the location of the error is spider. Okay. If I will execute this, if I will execute this, if I will execute this, you can see here f.read. There is nothing inside my file, so it's showing a blank here, right? That means it's getting printed. Okay, and it will not go into my file not found there. Okay, it will not go into it. So for example, if I will open here my sample.txt, okay, you can see here sample1 txt had been removed here. And for example, if I will write here Avinash, and in the second line I will write here file handling, and in the second I will write here exceptional handling. Okay, I have written that, and I will just save here. Okay, let me open whether it's being successfully returned. Yeah, it's been successfully created. So what I will do, I will just go here into my spider and I will try opening this file, and after f.read I will do f.close. Okay, I will write here f.close. Now let's see what happens. Okay, now see what's happened, and now let's try to execute this line of code. So you can see here that irrespective of the thing, my finally got already my finally block, this set of code already got printed here. Okay, so you can see these things, and let me restart my kernel once. Okay, I have to restart my kernel, and okay, so you have understood by till now that was the meaning of try block, what's the meaning of accept, and what's the meaning of finally block. Okay, if your program or code have some error, so basically except block what it does, it helps us to raise the exception, and basically it helps us to handle the exception. Exception will not be there inside the program, and your program will not be abruptly closed in between. Okay, so for that reason we use that. Okay, so what we will do, we are stopping here. And tomorrow, what we will do, we will just discuss about some of the exceptional handling, some of all the programs, and then what I will do, I will just use the regular expression, and we will start with that, or we can start with the iterators and generators there. Okay. So till then, bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind. Okay. Keep practicing 500 to 1000 lines of code every day.